Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome here at Crypto Hash Review, where we educate and disseminate information about Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies from a Muslim perspective. And continuing on from our previous video about signing transactions, we wanted to do a demonstration about how you can offset the whole signing process to even a different device entirely. So what you could have as a setup, for example, imagine you had your child had a mobile phone and you wanted them to have a Bitcoin wallet so they can receive Bitcoin. But if they want to spend it, they would have to get your permission first. So what you would have is their device and then you have your device. That's one option. Or for example, another setup, for example, you can have where, imagine you run a business and you want your employees to be able to receive funds so they can, send out Bitcoin addresses so they can receive funds. But if they wanted to spend those funds, then they would have to send that transaction to, like I say, the admin, the accountant, to yourself, who signs off the transaction for it to be confirmed. So there's a lot of things you can do with Bitcoin wallets because at the end of the day, it's programmable money. And you can think of probably just this idea, you can think of different ways in which you can implement this in a business environment, an environment whereby there are multiple people involved. You want people to be able to do certain things. I want him to be able to receive Bitcoin and send it on with permission and so on and so forth. So we're going to go for a little demonstration. So we have here, I've got one iPhone here, and this is the iPhone SE. Yeah, it's the first SE. And this is just normal iPhone SE2. So in terms of age of phones, I think any 64-bit phone would work at the end of the day, because all you need to do is have the ability to download Blue Wallet, because you can do this via Blue Wallet. It's made very easy to do so via Blue Wallet. You don't even need to have internet access. So another option you could have is to use this phone, for example, as a what's the word? You can use this phone as a hardware wallet. So for example, you could have this phone at home, not connected to any internet, no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, nothing. Just totally disconnected from the internet. And you have this phone which is connected to the internet. So this phone you use to send and receive transactions, but you can't actually send it without it being signed by your hardware wallet, which is another phone. Okay, so I've put screen record on both phones. So hopefully you should see these screens or these phones on either side of my head. This side of my head should be this phone, which is going to be the hardware wallet. And this phone is going to be the actual wallet that's going to be sending and receiving, connected to the internet, but can't actually send transactions independently. So let's first start up a wallet. So here we have wallet. This is hardware wallet. This is a hardware wallet, and this could happen. You can do this with any old phone. This is what's quite good about this, because you don't have to have you have to go out and buy a brand new phone. You can actually just buy a secondhand, not secondhand, but I guess you can get secondhand, but any old cheap phone. And the key thing here is that this will never touch the internet. Once you've reinstalled and scrapped it and cleaned everything off, you won't install it again. You won't connect to the internet at all. So there we have our private keys. Cool. And here I've turned it on an airplane mode, so I can't actually connect to the internet. That's cool. Don't need anything more than that. And now what I'm going to do here is it says show wallet XPub. Now XPub is the public key. This basically allows me to generate new addresses, see the balance of the wallet, but can't sign the transaction. Now on this other phone now, I'm going to come here, I'm going to import wallet, and I'm going to scan, and I'm going to literally scan this XPub. So now it says importing wallet. It says your wallet has been successfully imported. Cool, done. So now we have imported watch only. So this is a watch only, as you can only watch what's happening on the wallet. You can't do anything else beyond that. That's cool. Come out of that one. So here we have two wallets. One blue one here, which is the actual wallet, but has not got an internet connection. This one here, has got access to the addresses and whatnot, but can't sign the transaction, but it has access to the internet. So if someone wants to steal my phone or hold me at gunpoint and say, look, give me your Bitcoin wallet, you couldn't actually send anything here until you have this one in your hand as well. So if this was at home, you can leave it at home, or hide it, put it in your office, your grandmother's home, whatever, and only access it when you want to send Bitcoin. So here I can come here and I can say receive, and it's going to give me the address to receive Bitcoin. And that's because I just prove this. Let's go to receive. This should be both exactly the same address. There you go. So both L and ending in LZH. So both are the same address because it's the same wallet. And so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to send some Bitcoin to this address. It will take some time to confirm, maybe about 5 minutes. So let's cut to the next part where the Bitcoin is received. So we're back here with the transaction now confirmed. I received Bitcoin onto this wallet. Now I want to send this money from the Bitcoin wallet to another address. Now, remember, this one is you could say the hardware wallet or the mobile phone that has no internet connection, no Bluetooth connection, no nothing. So it can't actually send or receive. It doesn't even know, as you can see on the screen, it doesn't even know how much Bitcoin it has on the wallet. It has no idea. I mean, if you tap on it, there's nothing here. There's no information here about anything. It'll probably just give me some moan about can't connect to the server because it can't. This one, on the other hand, does. It says it here, it has here 0.001 Bitcoin. Yeah, that's what it has on the Bitcoin network. So now I want to, here we go, this is moaning about the connection. Okay, so now I want to send. Let's put the address in there. And I want to send everything, use a full amount, done, and return to sender. To sender. Okay, and I don't mind it being slow because I don't mind. I'm not waiting for this money. Now I want to press send. Now it has the transaction, but it's unsigned. Only this can do the sign in. So now I come to here, send, press the send button, and I want to sign a transaction. So then I would scan the transaction that it wants me to make. And now it's going to sign it. And now it's signed. Now this transaction has already been signed. I have two options. I can either, this text here at the bottom, that's actually the literal hexadecimal transaction. I could how even does that? One more time. Sorry. If you push down, it just gets rid of it and start all over again. Anyway, that bottom part is the hexadecimal number that you can copy and paste into anything and broadcast it. But this has no connection to the internet. So that's what it is. These are the details to the amount, the fee, the transaction. And it says Satoshis per byte. 1 Satoshi per byte, that should be okay. That's the lowest you can send. And come on, don't kill off my transaction. There you go. No. Fiddly. I want to get that. Okay, maybe that's good enough. So on this one, I scroll up. It has two options. Either I can open a signed transaction, i.e., if it's like in a SD card, I can load it up. Export as a file, or sign a transaction by scanning it. So I'm gonna go here. Now I'm scanning this one. I can't do it. The right bit at the top is not scanning. Okay. Come on, man. I don't want to. Why won't? There you go. That's better. So sign again. There you go. So now it's broadcasted this transaction. Here we are. This hexadecimal number, that's a transaction. I can copy it and save it and broadcast it later on if I want to do that. Or I can just send, press send now. And boom, there you go. So now it's sent the transaction broadcasted to the network, and now the thing has been done. Khalas, finish. And this hardware, it has no idea what just happened. All it has done is receive the transaction, signed it, and then kind of showed the QR code of the signed transaction, but that's what it knows. So this phone is a fully fledged hardware wallet, a nice one as well. Has a screen, you play games on it if you want to. But the most important thing is to keep this away from the internet. Now, the question is, how would you update the software then if it's not connected to the internet? So what you could do is you could delete the wallet off of this, then update, then turn the internet off again, and then reinstall from your private keys from the backup. Obviously, make sure you have the backup. So here, for example, I'll come here and I'll say export to backup. And there you go. There's my private keys right there for this transaction. Obviously, it doesn't benefit you. Cannot use this. So yeah. And that is it. So as you can see here, the current transaction is now pending, no confirmations. And here's the details of the transaction ID, and blah, blah, blah. Get the gist. That's it. So I hope you find this video beneficial and useful, learning about how signing a transaction is a separate process. It doesn't have to be on the same phone. It could be on a different phone or a different device. And actually, other hardware wallets like Ledgers and Trezors work the same way. They just have a little device. It has no idea what's on it, what's not on it. All it does is that it receives data of a transaction, signs it, and then gives it back to the device. And that's it. That's how it works. Inshallah, in the future, we'll cover examples of how you use these hardware wallets and these ledgers and so on and so forth. But for now, an iPhone is good enough. And I think this is something I think almost everyone must have an old iPhone or an old Androids. Yeah, in theory, you could still use Android, but I would highly suggest that you reinstall install the operating system from scratch. And don't just use what you have, because you might have malware on it. Now, could there be malware on the iPhone? Highly, highly unlikely because of Apple's walled garden approach. But Android phones, definitely you could have something on it. So if you're going to use an old Android phone, make sure you restore, as in you wipe it clean and reinstall from scratch. And if you're more technically inclined, you can maybe reinstall a non-Google-fied Android version. If you know what it means, you know what it means. And that's it really. So, subscribe to this channel, like this video, press the bell button, check out our website, and may Allah give you plenty Bitcoin in your hardware wallet. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.